Very good morning to you and welcome to the Morning Outlook Report. I'm Rachel Jones reporting live from Kalkine TV Sydney studios. Now, Australian shares are set to edge higher this morning, helped by gains in domestic miners and energy stocks on the back of upbeat commodity prices and a strong night on Wall Street. The ASX 200 is expected to open 3 points higher this morning. The benchmark index rose marginally to 7,443.4 points yesterday. Yesterday, the Australian share market flattened in afternoon trade, and at the closing bell, the S&P ASX 200 was 0.03% or 2 points higher at 7,443. Across the sectors, 5 out of 11 closed in the green. Technology was up 1.3%, followed by consumer discretionary up 0.5%. Healthcare was up 0.2%. Meanwhile, utilities dragged the market down. Their shares were down 1.3%, followed by consumer staples down 1% and industrials down 0.5%. Energy also fell down at 0.2%. The best performing stock yesterday was Nanosonics. Their shares closed 9.4% higher. And the worst performing stock was Mineral Resources, with their shares closing at 7% lower. Back in the US and on Wall Street, the Dow Jones rose 0.18%. The S&P 500 gained 0.47% and the Nasdaq added 0.9%. Equity markets gained globally yesterday as upbeat corporate earnings continued to boost US stocks. Several ASX-listed companies are holding their annual general meetings today. That includes Blackmores, Net Wealth and the Woolworths Group. The A2 Mill company will be releasing an investor update. And in local economic news, the Australian Bureau of Statistics will be releasing the third quarter consumer price inflation data at 11:30 this morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Looking to some local business news now, supermarket giant Woolworths says the first quarter of the 2022 financial year was arguably the most challenging COVID quarter, as the Delta variant caused major disruptions to its supply chain and stores in Victoria and New South Wales. Prolonged lockdown saw customers consume more at home, with Australian food sales up 3.9% and New Zealand food sales up 9.7%. The group reported record e-commerce sales penetration of 12.4% and group sales climbed 7.8% in the quarter from a year earlier, while group e-commerce sales were 53.5% higher. Meanwhile, Big W sales declined by 17.5%, and that was due to store closures and trading restrictions. Moving on, and the Bank of Queensland has announced that APRA has approved Farmcove Investment Holdings with approval to acquire St Andrew's Insurance. On the 14th of October 2020, the bank announced it had entered into an agreement with Farmcove to sell St Andrew's to them for $23 million, subject to certain conditions, and that includes regulatory approval from APRA. The transaction is expected to result in an indicative post-tax statutory loss on sale of approximately $26 million. Due to the timing of the completion, this statutory loss will be recognised in the bank's first half 2022 financial results. St Andrews had an immaterial impact on the bank's financial results for financial year 2021. Completion is expected tomorrow. And lastly, MA Financial Group has agreed to acquire iconic Adelaide office building at 25 Grenfell Street in a 50-50 joint venture with the Centuria Capital Group. MA Financial and Centuria will collectively acquire the asset, committing an equal $83.3 million each. The 24-level landmark building in Adelaide's CBD will be jointly managed, utilising the commercial real estate expertise of both firms. The stake will be split between the two diversified real estate funds, that's MA SIV Property Fund and MA Diversified Property Fund, which had combined assets under management of over $800 million at the end of September. Well, let's take a short break here. Stay tuned to Kalkine TV.
Hi there, James Preston for Kalkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Kalkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on the Tech Beat, exclusive to Kalkine TV.
Welcome back. I'm Rachel Jones and you're watching the Morning Outlook Report live on Kalkine TV. Let's look to commodities now, and oil prices have hit a multi-year high due to supply shortages and robust demand in the US. West Texas Intermediate crude oil price was up 1% to $84.62 a barrel. Brent crude rose 0.5% to $86.41 a barrel. Gold prices were pulled down by a stronger US dollar and improving risk sentiment. Spot gold gained 0.8% to $1,805.90 per ounce. US gold futures for December delivery settled up 0.6% at $1,806.80 per ounce. Meanwhile, iron ore's most traded January contract on China's Dalian Commodity Exchange ended 1.7% higher at $107.85 a tonne. On the other hand, the 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange gained 1.6% to $9,860 a tonne. Well, that's all from me for now. Have a great day trading. Stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.